An interesting development on Capitol Hill, where even though Nancy Pelosi's speakership is all but ensured, they're still whipping votes with a very interesting strategy. So Congressman Jim McGovern, let's throw this up there on the screen, he's the chair, the Dem Rules Chair. So he told all members today that, quote, that a vote against Nancy Pelosi for Speaker is a vote for the QAnon wing of the Republican Party. Just absolutely amazing, Ryan. Our caucus recently nominated her by voice. And make no mistake, any vote not for the Speaker on the House floor will be counted against her and for Kevin McCarthy and the QAnon wing of the Republican Party. That has got to be grade A fear-mongering there, Ryan. And you know what? It might actually work, but it is so shameless, man. Unbelievable.
I mean, if you wanted to take it to its conclusion, you could say it's a vote for the McCarthy wing of the Republican Party, but
yeah.
Saying it's a vote for the QAnon wing is a bit of a stretch.
Come on now. Yeah, right.
We're going to see this for the next 2 years, and that's because of the size of the House majority that Pelosi has with a single-digit majority, and with a lot of members of Congress who are not going to be willing to go along with the whatever the agenda is that gets negotiated between Mitch McConnell, Joe Biden, and Nancy Pelosi. Those are the things that are going to be coming to the House floor in must-pass fashion. Your debt ceiling bills, your stop a government shutdown bills. You're going to have a lot of people. There's 4 in the squad. You've got Jamal Bowman. You got Cori Bush. You got Mondaire Jones. You got Marie Newman. You got a lot of people. Ro Khanna. You have a lot of people who don't necessarily want to put their name on the types of agreements that are going to come out of those negotiations. Mitch McConnell has shown throughout the years that if he gets in a room with Joe Biden, he's going to leave with everything, including Biden's wallet.
Yeah, this is the interesting part, Ryan, which is that nobody is owed anyone's vote. But this also shows, and this is something I think Crystal was very afraid of, was about if Trump is still on the scene, then every criticism of Democrats will just be Trump. Now it shows you what their new fear-mongering strategy is, which is that if you're against Pelosi, then you're in the pockets of, like, I don't know, Marjorie Greene Taylor or whatever.
Right. And now, the Republicans have helped that argument along by, allowing somebody like a Marjorie Greene. I don't know how they could have stopped her at this point, but I guess they could try to distance themselves more from her the way that Democrats attack the squad. But in any event, she's there, but she's not the one that's going to be empowered. It would be McCarthy and people around him who Pelosi will have to go to and say, look, I don't have the votes for this deal that McConnell and Biden cut. It's too bad for 30 of my members. So I need 30 people on your side to vote for it. And McCarthy's going to have a price for that. It's not going to be something that the QAnon people want. It's not going to be a roundup and execution of deep state actors. But it's going to be something that Democrats don't like. It's going to be I want this tax loophole extended. I want more money for the Pentagon. I want whatever McCarthy's going to insist on is then going to probably make it even harder for Pelosi to get the votes back on the Democratic side. So she might have to come back to him hat in hand again, saying, well, actually, now I need 50 because of the concessions that I just gave you. And then it's this cycle where McCarthy can extract more concessions to give her 50 or 60 Republican votes. And that's if that can even happen in this intensely polarized era where no Republicans want to be seen voting for a Democratic bill. The fact that McConnell will have endorsed it will help. But it's just going to be a mess, and you're seeing the way that Democrats are going to message it, which is that stick with us or you're with QAnon.
Right, and see, this is the important part, as you mentioned, which is that it's not like working with McCarthy is like also bad, and I mean that because like any consensus that is going to get reached, and I'm not saying everything they stand for is bad, but anything that they generally agree on, like Kevin McCarthy and Pelosi, I'm going to say is bad. I'll just like blanket say that, and they'll say that there's like maybe few exceptions. And this is like my greatest fear of a Biden administration, right, is when Biden is like, we're going to work together with Mitch to like pass TPP again. And you're like, no, that was bad, actually, right? Or like, we're going to work together, on a tax cut like 2.0 or on like, I don't know, whatever they rebrand some of these these new things. Venezuela, right? That's another example. Everybody got up and clapped, right? Pelosi was right there. Kevin McCarthy. So like that's the type of stuff that has bipartisan consensus in the chamber.
Right. Yeah. Like when Chris Coons first came in to the Senate, this Democrat from Delaware, he vowed that he would only support legislation where he could get a Republican co-sponsor.
Yeah, right.
And so he went to the Republicans, like, who wants to do something with me on, the environment? Who wants to do something with me on wages? Who wants to do that? And, he couldn't find any takers. And finally, he's like, who wants to do something on patent reform? And Republicans are like, yeah, patent reform, great. And so, here comes this giant corporate boondoggle. Our patent system is a mess and needs to be reformed in a lot of different ways. But overall, it's not exactly the kind of thing that's making everyday people's lives that much better. And so that's going to be the kind of thing that Democrats and Republicans are going to be able to agree on, something that K Street has already spent tens of millions of dollars queuing up as an issue that can get bipartisan cover. And so, right, what you're seeing here is this attempt to say, look, don't push us into that corner, because then you're just empowering QAnon.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? It's unfortunately probably going to work. All right, we'll have more Rising for everybody right after this.